allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Thank you all for coming tonight. The first order of business is public comment to receive oral communications from members of the public. Members of the public may address the select board for up to 3 minutes. The select board shall not engage in discussion on topics raised during the public comment, but may choose to add the topic to a future agenda. This segment will be limited to 15 minutes. Do we have any public comment? Great. Board and committee reports. I signed the PR 2402 for Julie O'Brien and the VW 2403 north of Boston. That was for the ad for the liquor license.
Yes.
Motion to accept.
Second.
I don't
We
think
don't need to do
yeah,
that,
we
no.
don't need to do these.
She's
thought
just
of that
saying
the
she
minute I
signed
did
it.
I just signed it, so that's my report to the board.
Just keep me on your toes.
Thanks, Jeff.
Okay, I'm gonna jump right down to new business. We have a one-day liquor license for Woodland Catering Wedding on August 19th at Spencer P.S. Little Farm.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Discussion. Julie, does everything in order for this one?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we've got everything in order. Any questions? Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have a public property use request for the Tour de Greenbelt, Tour de Greenbelt, a bike race, September 16th, from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to accept.
Second.
Second, okay. Is there any discussion on this one?
I guess just the typical for the chief, you know what's going on with this and traffic and
We do, Deputy
cones and no painting and all the typical stuff is all taken care of.
Chief, yes, Deputy Chief Wykowski is working with them to figure out details and routes and making sure that everything is as safe as possible.
Is anybody here from the Essex County Greenbelt Association? No, okay.
Can we send him a little note about no riding on the road?
Well, yes.
I can do that.
Yeah, make sure they don't,
No paint
Paint
on the
our
roads,
roads.
right?
a permanent chalk our roads. That would be
Wash
great,
away.
yeah. Okay,
Nothing else?
no further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next we have public property use request for Sadie Idle Sinkler, 3335 High Road, Upper Green, kids kickball game, August 18th, from 6 to 8 p.m.
Motion to accept.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion. Sadie, are you here? Hi. Do you want to come on up and tell us what it is?
Okay, so it's something that my kids and I were talking about. They play it in their after-school program, and the baseball diamond just makes a better structured game than my
Sorry,
backyard.
only because the TV picks that up.
Okay.
Sorry.
So we have like a list of 14 friends, and it just seemed to make more sense to do it on the baseball diamond than my backyard because it's more structured and that's what they're used to. And this has kind of been an exercise for them, and let's ask the town. And I believe you have guided me through this. And I brought them here tonight just so that they could see the process. So,
Well done. Thank you. Do you boys have any questions about us?
No.
they've been coached because they might have gone on and on with questions. So, okay.
You guys excited for the kickball game? Okay.
The only risk, you want to wait for discussion?
Sure, well, we can have this discussion now.
Yeah, you did it
The
first.
only risk you might run if we get this kind of rain,
Yeah. Yeah.
you'll
Well,
have
then it'll
trouble
be
using
canceled.
the field.
Yep. All right. Well.
Well, if it happens and it rains, and you need to reschedule, you'll have to come back and have all this fun again.
All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay,
Alicia,
yes?
we should probably make note too that if people are going to ask to use town or public property, they really should be here. And you guys were. But the Tour de Greenbelt
Yeah.
was not.
Right. Okay, Julie, you can make that note. Thank you. Okay,
We just need it all in favor.
So, all in favor of the kickball game?
Aye.
Aye.
You guys have it.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you for
Thank
coming.
Thank you for making it
Thank
down
See
here.
ya.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so we have some fiscal '24 appointments. We have the Local Historic District Study Committee, Bethany Groff DeRoe. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to accept. Bethany.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? This is to replace Madison Blass, who has left her position and can no longer attend these meetings. This will bring them back to their original number. Okay, no further questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we have an appointment for the Eastern Essex Veterans Board of Directors. Dana Packer has been serving in that role, and I would like him, have asked, or like him to continue to serve in that role.
I'm happy to.
Motion to appoint Dana.
Second.
Okay, motion is second. Any comment, any discussion, any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is Don Jarvis, is he involved with this?
No, he's the VSO for another town, actually.
Okay, he lives in Haverhill.
And I think it may be Haverhill, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's not part of the Essex district, but he is a VSO.
And there's someone who's like chair of this, right? Was that Karen Tyler?
It was Karen Tyler,
Tyler.
she was the chair, and she's leaving.
Right.
And we're in the process of finding a new VSO, and we're in the middle of doing that right now.
Also, it's important that you
Perfect.
stay on
Right.
this committee.
And like I said, I think in the last select board, I mentioned Karen Bell we're now working there, you can call it full-time.
Yeah.
She gets, I want to say it's over 29 hours a week or something, it makes you full-time. And she is highly capable, but she's not a veteran, so she cannot serve in a VSO position, but she has, Karen Tyler has got other VSOs in the surrounding communities where if something comes up and it's an emergency or they need to make like a quick decision, we have other VSOs on call
To step up.
to help us out in those roles until we actually fill her position,
Right.
which we think may be a couple of months. I'm not real sure. We're in the process of doing that.
Yeah, but it makes sense.
Well-
It's like municipal fire department agreements.
It's exactly,
Helping out,
yeah.
Okay. All in favor?
Yeah. Aye.
And I'm gonna abstain
Yep.
for the record, just because it's me, so. And
Thank
thank you
you.
all for reappointing me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Okay, so we have an update for the Green Communities application from our town planner, Martha Taylor.
Good evening. For the record, I'm Martha Taylor, Newbury Planning Director, and thanks for putting me on the agenda tonight. I just wanted to give you all a very quick update on the green communities and where we are in terms of our application for designation. And I know there are a couple of select board members who actually may not know very much about it, so if there's time, I'd like to provide just a little bit of background.
Please.
Okay. So the Massachusetts Green Communities Division was established to provide grants, technical assistance, and local support to help municipalities reduce energy use and costs by implementing clean energy projects in municipal buildings, facilities, and schools. I think the program was started around 2010, and 2009. We actually started talking about it back at that point, but at that time, it wasn't really felt that it was appropriate for us to move forward. Since that time, 290 out of the 351 municipalities in Massachusetts have been designated as green communities, and we're actually the last one in our Merrimack Valley region to be so designated. I think Raleigh was right before us. And municipalities that achieve green community designation are eligible to apply for grants to help implement energy conservation measures. We started actively working on this process in about 2017, 2018 with the Green Communities Regional Coordinator and MVPC, which received a Regional Energy Planning Assistance Grant to help with this process, so they've been providing us with technical assistance all the way along. Once we become designated as a green community, we'll be able to immediately access funds. There's a non-competitive designation grant, which ranges from about $130,000 to about $160,000. Rentham was designated in last December. They received $144,600 with a population of 12,178. And Washington, with a whopping population of 494 people, received a grant of $126,500. So it's anticipated that we'll get, somewhere, probably be, around $130,000, $140,000 once we get designated. There are 5 criteria that we have to meet in order to be designated. The first one is really a zoning criterion, which can either be to have as-of-right siting for renewable or alternative energy generating facilities, which we're not going for, or research and development facilities, developing renewable or alternative energy, or actually manufacturing facilities for those kinds of things. Our zoning already allows R&D facilities by right, so that's what we're going to be working towards for that criterion. Expedited permitting, to basically say that the permitting process for these facilities shall not exceed 1 year from the date of application. Unless it's an unusual application, we know we've had a few. 1 year is way more than it would usually take for us, so we can commit to that. The third criterion is the energy reduction plan, and that's really what I've got on the table for you guys tonight, which sets our energy baseline and a plan for 20% reduction in energy over 5 years, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. A fuel-efficient vehicle policy, which is a commitment to purchase fuel-efficient vehicles. We've already gone through the fleet electrification plan, which ties right into this. So it's basically a commitment to, basically be following that plan. And the final one is the adoption of the Stretch Energy Code, which we did back in June of 2020. So we're well on our way towards meeting all of these. We're hoping to submit our application in September for designation in December. And one action that we'll be asking the Select Board to do is to adopt this energy reduction plan. That's one of the final steps to get this done. I think the application is going to be submitted around September 22nd, so with your permission, we'd like to get back on the agenda on the 22nd of August for you all to take some action on that. Just a little bit on the energy reduction plan itself. We contracted with a company called Guardian Energy to do an audit of all our municipally owned buildings, as well as Triton Middle School and High School, to determine baseline energy use and develop a priority list of conservation measures that we can take. So the energy reduction plan outlines this baseline energy use and identifies potential retrofits and other things that we can do for energy efficiency. For Triton, since we don't actually own that building and it's regional school district, we can only kind of take credit's probably the wrong word for it, but a portion of their energy use, which is equivalent to the amount of funding that we put into the school. And so for 2022, that was 28.8% of Triton's funding, so we can take credit for that. There are discussions about possibly bringing Salisbury and Rowley into including Triton in their energy reduction plans. They don't currently, but that could be a next step. So I have hard copies of the plan to give you tonight. I'll also send to Julie copies of the PDF, and also, unless you provided the fleet electrification plan, is that something that it will be an appendix to this?
Yeah. We had done that quite a while ago,
A while ago.
months ago. I don't know if you recall, you had accepted allowing us to work with National Grid.
Yep.
Provided the details, and I think you've seen it. God, it has to be 7 months ago.
It's
maybe?
a while back, yeah. But,
We can certainly add it back in again.
okay. And also Cece Gerstenbacher at MVPC is the person that we've been working with, and she said she would be more than happy to answer any questions in the interim about all of this. There's some fairly detailed information about MMBTUs and all that kind of riveting stuff, but I'll provide Cece's contact information to Julie as well. So,
That's great. Martha, do we have any idea, like, what types of grants we would be able to get through them? Like, what types, like, it wouldn't be police or fire or?
it would be for any of our municipal facilities, so it would be for the police station, fire station.
Thank you.
The schools, a lot of the projects that they identified really are at the schools. You'll see those as you go through it.
Thank you.
So I think for the first, for the designation grant, we would put together a project that we would like to have funded, but again, it's non-competitive, so that would be an easy one.
Okay.
Martha, does, I'm sorry, Alicia. Does the solar farm play into that, that's gonna go onto the landfill?
You know, that's noted in there, and there will be some benefit to the town from that once it's constructed.
Thank you.
I have a couple of questions,
Yes,
Madam Chair, if I
Stephen.
may. I mean, obviously, I can see where this is something that we need to do. I think that that's important. Does it change, like, how we're gonna build our future buildings and the, you know, different codes as far as, you know, what, you know, how they're supposed to be energy efficient versus how we could build them now is,
So that's actually been done when we adopted the stretch code in 2020. That already
So that's
sets the
been done already.
that sets the parameters for that,
and then
yep.
our electric vehicle plan, are we gonna have recharging stations in town? Do we know, like, how many and where they're gonna be yet, or is that,
The library and Central Street playing fields.
and are they gonna be free of charge
I
to the public?
That's to be determined.
Okay, all right, that's a fair answer.
Yep.
I would be surprised, but we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm assuming that, like, obviously, I guess National Grid is gonna be feeding those, which I can see where they would wanna probably get paid for that somehow. And possibly our solar panel farm may be able to contribute to that bill or something. I don't know, I'm just trying to think out loud.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, probably not that directly.
Probably not, okay. All right. That's all I have.
Bill,
Thank
do you
you.
have any questions?
No, I'm all set.
Joe?
Just something that I've been hearing about a little is sometimes to, like, totally electrify municipal use vehicles, and Patty's shaking her head. You gotta be pretty smart when you're gonna do that, because these vehicles sometimes have to run a very long time. You know, you're talking about, you know, if you're gonna get into electrifying fire, I mean, so there's a lot. Before we run down this road, we better have one smart consultant.
We have had, we worked with somebody who specializes in that, and under the plan, the fuel-efficient vehicles and the electrification plan, there's certain vehicles that are considered to be exempt
Yeah.
from
and
the
we're in cold
requirements, some
weather,
that are
that's
non-exempt.
another layer.
And in going through it, they've determined that there are vehicles that there are either no electrical vehicles that are equivalent or none, or it just is not cost-effective or doesn't make sense to do it for other reasons.
Yeah.
So that would be probably our fire and possibly police and DPW
Yeah,
trucks.
DPW, right,
Yeah.
right. I think even the cruisers, although I did just see an article about a community in California, I can't remember, they're buying Teslas, all Teslas for their cruisers.
Good for them.
It was
They have the
interesting.
infrastructure.
Yeah, it was interesting to see, anyway, but, yeah, the fleet electrification plan really outlines that and was very thorough in all of those considerations.
Okay,
As always, great job.
well done.
So,
Any
thank you
other
very
questions
much.
of Martha? Leslie?
No.
Good?
Okay, so if it's all right, we look forward to seeing you on the 22nd to.
Yes, Julie, make a note to add that onto our agenda, please. We
Great, thank
will.
you very much.
Thank you, Martha.
Thanks, Martha.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, no old business, town administrators report, none. Correspondence, meeting updates, review and approve meeting minutes, draft meeting minutes of July 25th, 2023 are in your packet. I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the July 25th, 2023 minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Warrants, motion to sign warrants.
Motion to sign warrants.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And we do have executive session tonight, so I move, let me just state saying this first. We are going to go into executive session to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body and the chair so declares. So I move that the select board enter into executive session pursuant to Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A7, to review for approval the following executive session minutes in accordance with Chapter 30A, Section 22F and G. Executive session with regards to General Laws, Chapter 30A, 21A3, in the matter of the Department of Environmental Protection in Cricket Lane LLC, SOC 5050-1355 for 55R Pearson Lane. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you, Leslie. I'm gonna do a roll call vote. Bill DeMayo,
Yes.
Dana Packer,
Yes.
Alicia Greco, yes, Leslie Matthews.
Yes.
And Jeff Walker.
Jeff Walker, yes.
This meeting will not reconvene at the conclusion of executive session. Thank you, Martha.